Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. I love bead blasted field watches. That's why I own the CWC, the Hamilton Khaki Field, and now an Elgin Homage by Mr. D. So tonight let's do a bead blast battle between these three watches. When I realized how much I love field watches, I decided to get the CWC because of its water resistance. I wanted a field watch that I could swim in, and so I picked up this little guy. It is 36 millimeters. I was tempted to go with the Khaki Field just because it is so iconically field watch, but this had the water resistance I was looking for. Interestingly enough, I've actually had bad luck with dive watches recently, which is strange considering my collection used to be 100% dive watch, but I just haven't really been feeling the different pieces that I've owned. I love lots of the aspects about them, but overall they just didn't really get wrist time. So I figured this would be a great alternative. I could go snorkeling in it, and it looks great. It's a little vintage style field watch, tough as nails, and very water resistant. After I'd owned the CWC for a little while, my brother had picked up a Hamilton Khaki Field, and I remember seeing it on his wrist and it looked so good. This case has such a great elegant shape to it, and it really wears thinner than it is. And that was my only beef with the CWC, is how thick it wears. And you can see that when you hold these side by side. See how all that bulk is on the bottom part of the CWC, so it's kind of hidden, but it hovers above your wrist because of that. But look at how thin the Khaki Field looks in comparison. Yeah, that case is just great. But for me personally, I feel like field watches should be a bit smaller, like 36 millimeter, but that's just me. So this being as large as it is, I don't really choose to wear it. I'll usually grab the CWC. I've gone over some of this in a previous video, but yeah. But that dial looks really great. I love all those indices, including the 24-hour markers there. Yeah, that's a great dial. And after getting Mr. D's Waltham reproduction, I decided to hit his catalog and see if he had anything that was bead blasted. And sure enough, I found this little guy. And as you can see, it has kind of a similar bezel to what the Khaki Field has. However, this is at an A-11 size, which for me personally is awesome. And like the other one, it's quartz, yet it sweeps. And it hacks. And you'll see there's no faux patina on any of the markers. They're all just white on a black dial. This watch is super cool. Let me take off the Ricoh and let's look at these watches for a comparison. We'll begin with the big fella. And again, look at how sleek that case is. How it hugs the wrist. Man, if this was 36 millimeters, yeah, it wouldn't be going anywhere. But it's pretty tough and great design. And look at this, the CWC is back on its original strap that it shipped on. I really like the gray straps on these. It just looks really cool with this particular watch. And you can absolutely go swimming with this thing on. I believe it has 200 meters of water resistance, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And that crystal's pretty great too. Slightly domed there with the bevel at the edge. The CWC, super cool. And the new kid on the block. The A-11 Elgin Homage. The sterile dial there. And look at this strap that it shipped on. That hardware is crazy. Field watches are so great during the summer. put on a Hawaiian shirt and one of these, and it just looks amazing. And I love the A-11 aesthetic. And being bead blasted. So cool. Yep, that watch looks awesome. So the specifications on the Elgin watch, its case size is 33mm, the lug to lug is 40mm, the case height is 9mm, the lug width is 16mm, it has an acrylic crystal, and the movement inside this is a quartz movement that sweeps and hacks. It doesn't really have much water resistance, but again, I actually bought the Hamilton Khaki Field simply for its looks, and I'm probably going to replace it with this simply for its looks. Just as I mentioned in my previous video, but here we get to see these pieces side by side. Super cool piece by Mr. D. Be sure to check out his eBay store. I've put a link to it in the description below. So there you have it, 3 super fun, super tough bead blasted field watches. And 2 of them are definitely keepers. The other one, I think, needs to go to a home where it's going to get lots of love. Thanks for watching.